Good morning, student. Today we are going to see ionic mechanism for addition polymerization. When polymerization is catalyzed by ion, it is called as ionic polymerization. It is also classified into two types depending on the nature of the ion. First type is known as cationic polymerization. Cationic polymerization simply means that when the polymerization process is initiated by cations, it is simply known as cationic polymerization. The most common cations involved in the polymerization is H plus ion, that is proton. If some other Lewis acid or Laurie-Brontes acid acts as a catalyst, it reacts first with your solvent, liberating a proton. Example of some protonic acid are H2SO4, oxychloric acid, Lewis acid, BF3, AlCl3, stannous chloride, etc. This type of acid generally used for the initiation of your cationic polymerization. So just see the first step of cationic polymerization, that is initiation. In this step BF3, which is basically a Lewis acid, is reacted with water, liberating this proton. This proton have very much important role and forming BF3OH. Then this proton is attack your pi bond of your vinylic compound, going to be a form a carbocation molecule. In propagation step, this carbocation molecule then further attacked by another vinylic molecule, and it going to be a form new carbocation. This process is repeated again and again in propagation step, and thereby increasing the chain length, and formation of new carbocation takes place. In termination step, anion which are generated in your step number 1, that is BF3OH minus, attacks the hydrogen of penultimate carbon, extracting a proton, and chain reaction is terminated. So just see here, in this molecule, in this carbocation, this base, that is basically BF3OH minus, extracted this proton, and this carbon going to be a form double bond with this carbon, and charge get neutralized. So in this way, cationic termination takes place in cationic polymerization. Now what is anionic polymerization? The polymerization when it is catalyzed by anion, it is known as anionic polymerization. The most common anions which are used are OH minus and NH2 minus. Polymerization of styrene catalyzed by potassium amide or KNH2 involves following steps. So just see here, in our initiation step, this is the molecule of your styrene. When it is attacked by NH2 minus, so basically this NH2 attack on this carbon atom going to be a form bond here, and because of that this double bond shifted on your this carbon atom. So you got this carbon anion, that is NH2CH, CH2, and your benzene ring attached to this carbon atom. In propagation step, this carbon anion attacks another styrene molecule, thereby increasing the chain length. So this is the structure of another carbon anion, and this step is again and again repeated, and new carbon anions get generated. Just see here, it should be a negative charge. Termination, how termination is occur in your anionic polymerization. So in termination step, a protonic solvent or a protonic acid is added, which neutralize your this negative charge which are on your carbon ion, and you got a polymerized product. The second type of polymerization is known as condensation polymerization. It is also known as step growth polymerization. What is the meaning of condensation polymerization? In condensation polymerization, two molecules combine by loss of small molecule like water, CH2OH, etc. The product then undergo polymerization. Hence it is also called as step growth polymerization. Two types of common polymers which are prepared by this process is, first, polyester. They are basically a fiber, and polyamides. Polyamide basically contain CONH group. best example of polyamides are nylon 6 and nylon 66. So we are now going to see example of polyester, that is terylene. Synthesis of terylene is basically done with the help of ethylene glycol and dimethyl terephthalate. In this reaction we are going to see how two molecule of ethylene glycol is reacted with your dimethyl terephthalate. So basically this CH3 from dimethyl terephthalate takes away this OH, and from here this CH3 takes away this OH. So basically two molecule of methyl alcohol goes out in presence of base, and we got dihydroxy diethyl terephthalate. This molecule is then under high temperature and vacuum, it is get polymerized, so we got dichrone. Dichrone is basically nothing but a terylene molecule. This is the repeating unit, that is OCH2 CH2O C double bond O phenyl ring C double bond O n times. This is basically a repeating unit which are present in your terylene molecule. Terylene basically used in the manufacturing of cloth. The combination of terylene with a cotton is commonly known as a terrycot. Now how nylon 66 is prepared? The nylon 66 is prepared by the reaction of adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. When these two molecules get reacted, basically water molecule, this is the acid, this is the base. So acid plus base give you water and salt. So basically in this reaction water molecule goes out and salt of nylon 6 is obtained. This salt is then polymerized under high temperature and nitrogen atmosphere. This salt get polymerized and we got nylon 66. So this is the repeating unit of nylon 66. So it contains C double bond O CH2 the CH2 by 4 C double bond O. This is basic, this part is basically come from your adipic acid, and NH CH2 by 6 NH. This part is basically coming from your hexamethylene diamine, and that's why name is nylon 66. 6 stands for 6 carbon atom from your adipic acid, and this 6 stands for 6 carbon atom from your hexamethylene diamine. Now how nylon 66 is prepared? So nylon 66 is prepared from cyclohexanone. First cyclohexanone is reacted with hydroxylamine, so water molecule goes out and we got oxime of this cyclohexane. Oxime of cyclohexane is then reacted with concentrated H2SO4. In the presence of concentrated H2SO4, this oxime get rearranged into epsilon caprolactam. Notice that this is the 6-member compound and this is the 7-member compound. At 260 degrees centigrade, this ring structure of epsilon caprolactam get open up and we got nylon 66. So just see here, we got, this is the repeating unit in nylon 6, that is C double bond O CH2 by 5 NH. So both nylon 66 and nylon 6 are used in manufacturing of rope and tires, etc. Now we are going to see the synthesis of urea from aldehyde resin. Urea from aldehyde resin is basically prepared by the reaction of urea and 2 mole of from aldehyde molecule. When urea is reacted with 2 mole of from aldehyde molecule, we basically got dimethyl oil urea. How dimethyl oil urea is obtained? Basically one of the hydrogen from both this NH2 group comes on your oxygen, so C double bond O is basically converted into COH. So basically we got CH2OH here. So one of the hydrogen of this NH is shifted on your oxygen. Then this dimethyl oil urea is further reacted with your urea molecule, and it during this addition there is removal of water molecule takes place. Basically this OH and one of the hydrogen from your NH2 group going to react and form water molecule. So water molecule goes out here and we got NHC double bond NH2, and this way this reaction is repeated again and again and we got at last urea from aldehyde. This is the repeating unit which are present in urea formaldehyde. So what is the repeating unit? It is CH2NH, double bond O, NH. The urea formaldehyde is basically used in manufacturing of unbreakable crockery. It is also used as an adhesive in a ply industry. Basically, urea formaldehyde is used in Femicol also. The smell of Femicol, the particular smell of Femicol is due to the presence of urea formaldehyde. Phenol formaldehyde resin, that is bakelite. First phenol is reacted with your first phenol is reacted with formaldehyde in presence of base nearly at 100 degrees centigrade. So we obtain two types of molecule. One is ortho hydroxybenzyl alcohol and second one is para hydroxybenzyl alcohol. In next step, both this ortho hydroxybenzyl alcohol and para hydroxybenzyl alcohol molecule are attached itself through CH2 linkages. Just see here, these CH2 linkages are basically present at ortho and para position, and this is the structure of your bakelite. Bakelite basically used as a binding material in ply industry. It is used as a binder with varnishes. It is a very good insulator and used in electric appliances like switches, electric board, etc. So now we are going to see Ziegler-Natta polymerization. The polymerization catalyzed by Ziegler-Natta catalyst is called as Ziegler-Natta polymerization. This catalyst is combination of triethyl aluminum and titanium trichloride. It is a bridge organometallic compound from as follows. So just see here, it is a titanium trichloride and it is reacted with triethyl aluminum. It is going to be a form a bridge compound. Just see here, in this bridge compound, this Cl and this C2H5 is basically forming bridge in between your titanium and aluminum metal atom. So this is basically a structure of Ziegler-Natta catalyst. When polymerization of alkene is catalyzed by Ziegler-Natta catalyst, following steps are involved in the polymerization. In first step, alkene molecule forms pi complex with your Ziegler-Natta catalyst. So just see here, when this alkyl molecule comes in contact with your Ziegler-Natta catalyst, so this alkene is going to be a form pi molecular complex with your titanium molecule. In next step, the alkene molecule get transferred between titanium and ethyl group. So just see here, in this step we are going to see that this your alkene molecule is transferred in between titanium and this C2CH3. So just see here, this ethylene molecule comes here. The chain goes on and in this way the chain goes on elongating by sequential addition of ethylene molecule. In next step we are going to see that further ethylene molecule get inserted in between titanium and this carbon atom. So this chain length goes on increasing as the number of your alkene molecules are get added. The product can be the process can be terminated by hydrogenating the product. At last, there is the hydrogenation of this product take place and chain growth gets stopped. What are the advantages of Ziegler-Natta polymerization? Chain length can be controlled. The product obtained is highly stereospecific. It is very important. We got highly stereospecific product in Ziegler-Natta polymerization. No branch polymer are obtained. In next class we are going to discuss CFT. Thank you very much.